What is going on, Miami Dolphins fans? Welcome back to the Fins Up Network. It's Ben Morgan, and as you can tell, I don't have the usual background today. On the road today, but there was no chance that I was going to be missing 2 straight Dolphins training camp days because the Dolphins were back on the field today for their 5th day of on-field workouts. No fans allowed at today's practice, no live tweeting, no pads. The pads were becoming on Tuesday. But let's jump into today's action with the play of the quarterbacks because Teddy Bridgewater was out with an undisclosed injury. So that means Tua was taking the reps with the ones. Every rep that Tua didn't take was taken by Skylar Thompson, the rookie 7th rounder, but both of them had solid days. Tua hit Erik Ezukanma, our 4th-round rookie, on a 40-yard touchdown. Throw was on the run. It was the highlight of the day. But I want to take a little extra time to chat about this one because I know the topic from Saturday's training camp was the Tua 65-yard bomb to Tyreek with all of the air yards. And that's great and all. But there's a couple of different ways to measure arm strength. And everyone's like, oh, now we can put the rumors to bed about Tua and his arm strength. Well, myself, and I know there's a lot of other people included in this, it's when Tua has the platform to throw on, when he's set, when he can keep all of his mechanics, the arm strength hasn't been an issue. When the issue is prevalent is when he has to get off of his base, if he has to be throwing on the run, if there are elements involved. There's different levels to arm strength. It's about throwing the ball far. Is it about the velocity? It's about the short to mid-range, being able to put velocity on that ball. There's a lot of different ways to measure arm strength. So while the 65-yard bomb touchdown to Tyreek, that's great and all. Love seeing it. Couldn't watch the highlight enough. Today's 40-yard touchdown on the run to Ezukanma, in my opinion, tells a better story because it's one of those off-platform throws. So I probably went a little bit longer on that, but I needed to get that off my chest because I wanted to say it so bad on Saturday. Didn't have the opportunity to. So him throwing on the run like that today and completing that touchdown pass was great timing, and I want to see more of that. But moving on through the quarterbacks, he also had a 45-yard touchdown pass to Tyreek, once again, who was sporting the old orange jersey today for the Dolphins. And he had a 35-yard touchdown to Jaylen Waddle. Both of those weren't outright air yards. They were yards after the catch on those. But he also had a touchdown pass to Cethan and another one to Chase Edmonds. Speaking of Skylar Thompson, had short touchdown passes to both Tyreek and Trent Sherfield in some red zone drills. There's a lot of red zone drills today, a lot of touchdowns today. He also had another touchdown later in practice over the middle to Jaylen Waddle and a short touchdown pass to one of the tight ends that are facing an uphill battle to make this team. But hey, made a splash play today, got recognized today in Tanner Connor. As for the running backs, Myles Gaskin, we've heard his name a little bit here and there. Another one of those guys fighting for a spot in the running back room, credited with a couple of nice runs. And on an injury note, Raheem Mostert and Alec Ingold both sporting the non-contact red jerseys today. No huge surprise there. We've known that going in. Certain veterans are going to have limited reps and time off. But I want to show that we do have a clip of the Chase Edmonds touchdown here from Tua. Just a quick one that the social media team put out. Nothing super fancy, but hey, it's August and we want Dolphins highlights, so we had to show it. Let's go on to the wide receivers because outside of the wide receivers that we've already mentioned, Mohamed Sanu got his name called pretty much for the first time in camp, had a touchdown in some red zone drills. But the story from Barry Jackson has been Erik Ezukanma and Braylon Sanders, who have looked like the best wide receivers outside of those top three. So top three meaning Tyreek Hill, Jaylen Waddle, Cedric Wilson. And I love it that it's Erik Ezukanma because they have a rookie, invested a 4th-round pick in him. We want him to flash. We want him to make a name for himself. But Braylon Sanders coming kind of out of left field here and really making a name for himself. If there was one name I'd love to see added to this list, it would be Lynn Bowden Jr. We need to see a little bit more from him. Haven't heard too much from him in regards to actually making plays as a wide receiver. We know he's getting some runs in the return game, but outside of that, haven't heard too much. Let's go on to the offensive line. Michael Deiter still out. So Cole Banward is still the only actually healthy center not named Connor Williams currently on this team. However, this is where it gets interesting. Because another unidentified player is getting some cross-training behind Connor Williams. However, we can speculate all we want, but no one can actually report on that because the media is not allowed to talk about where the players are being lined up. So a little bit of update from the offensive line today, but the defensive line, Adam Butler remained out with his injury. Raekwon Davis was credited with a would-be sack. But Travis Wingfield of the Dolphins Drive Time podcast, Zach Sealer with his most complete day in camp, whether it was individual drills, 7-on-7, 11-on-11, having credit all over the board, disrupting pass plays, behind the line of scrimmage on run plays. Great day for Zach Sealer. Let's talk about those linebackers as well, because Andrew Van Ginkel was the other Dolphins player credited with a would-be sack. Duke Riley continuing to get his name called in pass coverage. He had a pass breakup on a Skylar Thompson to Hunter Long pass. I've got the video right here. As you can see, it's a nice throw. Hunter Long kind of thought he had it, kind of took it for granted a little bit there, and Duke Riley comes in and swats it. So another nice play there by Duke Riley. And Sam Eguavoen had a pass breakup as well. Also on another play later in practice, forced Tua out of the pocket, forcing a throwaway from Tua on that one as well. So good day out of those couple of linebackers. And finishing up with some secondary talk. Trill Williams, end of practice, once again, getting an interception off Tua Tagovailoa, a one-handed catch after what appeared to be a miscommunication between Tua and Jaylen Waddle. But he's been the most impressive cornerback right now outside of essentially Xavier Howard. I mean, Nick Needham has had his times here and there, but he's also been on the wrong end on a few plays. But we need, and obviously Byron Jones is on PUP, so it's a little bit hard to determine exactly the kind of run that Trill would be getting. But great for someone to step up. We talked about it a few videos ago. Between Trill Williams and Noah Igbenogany, one of these guys, if not both of them, need to step up and make a name for themselves as we get closer to the season here, especially with Byron Jones being on the PUP. But nice interception there from Trill Williams. And I do want to add one more video to this because this play is just too beautiful all around to not show it. And it's some goal line work. It's one-on-one, so it's nothing team-wise, but it's Xavier Howard faced up with Jaylen Waddle and a beautiful throw by Tua, as you'll see it right here. Fakes him outside, gets across his face. Xavier Howard makes a nice play on this ball yet. This is what we pretty much call the perfect rep. It's really good defense. It just happens to be a little bit better offense. You can see how close that ball is to getting tipped by Howard. He recovers so well, and it's literally within inches of his fingertips there. And then game recognized game. Waddle daps him up. Everyone's friends at the end of the day. But that's what we've got for today, Miami Dolphins fans. Like I said, sorry for missing out on Saturday's action. Would have loved to have been able to create a video, but being out of town a little bit sometimes limits what you can do. But that's what I've got for today, Dolphins fans. Until next time, Fins